Something strange has been brewing in Indiana. Behind the glow of sold-out arenas and viral highlight reels, a quiet tension has been building. A tug-of-war between money, control, and the face of a new era in basketball. Caitlin Clark didn't just walk into the WNBA, she detonated into it. Her arrival turned a struggling franchise into a nationwide spectacle. Suddenly, the Indiana Fever, once an afterthought, became a cultural phenomenon. Yet, as the buzz grew louder, so did the whispers. Whispers about meetings behind closed doors, about billionaire owners, and about one bold declaration that could change everything. This is CCT Now, Caitlin Clark's team. At the heart of this story lies a private meeting that allegedly took place inside the Pacers' entertainment headquarters. Billionaire owner Steve Simon, head coach Stephanie White, and top Fever executives reportedly gathered to discuss the direction of the franchise. Nobody has gone on record confirming what was said, but according to multiple insiders, it wasn't your usual basketball talk. It was a mandate, a pivot in power, the kind of moment that quietly reshapes everything a team stands for. Because when a billionaire allegedly utters a phrase like CCT from here on out, that's not strategy, that's ownership muscle at work. To understand how we got here, you need to look at who really runs the Indiana Fever. The Simon family isn't just rich, they are empire builders. They own the Pacers, they own the Fever, and they control the Simon Property Group, a giant in American retail. Their reach is enormous, and when their sports division begins to slip, they notice. The aging Herb Simon may be the patriarch, but it's his son Steve who's the real architect now, the man making the calls that ripple through every locker room in Indianapolis. So when ticket sales dipped, when Caitlin Clark's viral moments began to slow, and when the Fever's energy shifted from fire to frustration, it's no surprise that the Simons took notice. Because for them, this isn't just basketball, it's business. Caitlin Clark's entry into the league was nothing short of a seismic event. From the second she touched the court, viewership records shattered, jersey sales skyrocketed, the Fever became must-watch television. Even the Pacers, Indiana's NBA franchise, were being overshadowed by the rookie phenom. Every shot she launched from the logo wasn't just 3 points. It was a marketing campaign. Her presence turned casual fans into diehards and skeptics into believers. But as quickly as the rise came, something changed. The game slowed. The team's rhythm shifted. The once electric offense dulled. Fans began asking the same question: what happened to Caitlin Clark's freedom? The answer may lie in Stephanie White's philosophy. When she took over as head coach, she wanted structure, balance, teamwork, and predictability. It was textbook basketball. But in the world of entertainment, structure doesn't sell tickets, spectacle does. And Caitlin Clark was spectacle personified. Under White's system, her role diminished. She was no longer the fearless long-range sniper that fans came to see, but rather a disciplined floor general playing within rigid lines. The Fever began winning more games, yes, but the numbers off the court began to fall. Ratings cooled, arenas grew quieter, and the viral clips stopped coming. For a billion-dollar empire, that's a problem. According to insiders, that's when Steve Simon decided to act. The rumor is that he summoned Stephanie White and top executives Amber Cox and Kelly Kroskov to his office and made it clear that things were going to change. From that point forward, every decision would revolve around one person: Caitlin Clark. Her comfort, her exposure, her style of play, everything. The brand, the offense, even the locker room dynamic would center on her, because she wasn't just a player. She was an investment. The kind of star who could redefine the WNBA's economics. But not everyone in that meeting reportedly agreed. Stephanie White, they say, pushed back. She believed in her system, her approach, her team. Yet when billionaires make demands, resistance usually has a shelf life. The tension reportedly boiled over. And soon after, subtle changes started appearing. White's public statements began highlighting Kelsey Mitchell as the key to the offense, while internal whispers suggested the coach and ownership were no longer aligned. Insiders began speculating about the possibility of fractures within the front office. Were the Fever being pulled in two directions, one by basketball philosophy and the other by corporate influence? And caught in the middle of all this was Caitlin Clark herself, unknowingly becoming both the product and the pawn in a quiet power struggle that could reshape her career. The irony is that all this drama boils down to one thing: money. The WNBA, for all its passion and progress, is still a business fighting for relevance. Caitlin Clark changed that equation. She brought eyeballs, sponsors, and global attention that no marketing campaign could buy. The moment her usage dipped, so did the Fever's financial momentum. That's not conspiracy, it's math. And Steve Simon, a man raised in the world of numbers and profit margins, knows math doesn't lie. When an asset loses value, you adjust. In this case, the adjustment meant turning Caitlin Clark from an athlete into an enterprise. Of course, these are all allegations. Nobody from the Fever organization has confirmed or denied the rumors, and maybe they never will. But the pattern of events tells a story louder than any statement could. A team built around motion suddenly starts freezing possessions for isolation plays. Marketing materials shift to focus exclusively on one face. Coaches' post-game tones change. Silence from the top becomes deafening. It all feels like the kind of corporate pivot that happens quietly, efficiently, and without public explanation. The kind of change that billionaires make over a single phone call. If true, this moment represents something bigger than basketball. It's a cultural shift. A moment when the WNBA's most powerful franchise might have decided to operate like an NBA one, where stars drive systems, not the other way around. The Fever's future, from playstyle to personnel, could now orbit entirely around Caitlin Clark. Because when the people writing the checks decide to build an empire around one player, there's rarely room for compromise. That's not ego. It's economics, plain and simple. So where does that leave everyone else? Stephanie White, the coach caught between vision and mandate, may soon face the toughest decision of her career. Does she adapt her system to fit the new era, or risk becoming the next casualty of corporate basketball? What about veterans like Kelsey Mitchell or Aaliyah Boston, who have built their careers on teamwork and chemistry? Can they adjust to a structure where one name dominates every play call, every poster, every headline? The locker room harmony that once defined the Fever could soon be tested in ways no coach can prepare for. And at the center of it all stands Caitlin Clark, young, talented, and unknowingly reshaping not just her franchise, but perhaps the entire business model of women's sports. She may not have asked for this level of power, but she has it now. And power, once given, rarely returns quietly. As the next season approaches, one question looms over Indiana like a shadow. Who truly runs the Fever? Is it the coach pacing the sidelines or the billionaire in the luxury suite upstairs? If the whispers are true, Caitlin Clark didn't just change the game, she changed the hierarchy. She became the new face of power in Indiana basketball. Whether that power becomes the foundation of a dynasty or the spark of an implosion, only time will tell. But one thing is certain, the Fever will never be the same again. Now, what do you think? Has Caitlin Clark truly become bigger than the team itself? Or is this just part of the growing pains of a league evolving around its brightest star? Is this transformation good for the WNBA or dangerous for the spirit of competition? Let's talk about it in the comments. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell for more stories that reveal the drama, money, and power behind the game.